I'm Rebecca, I'm 24, and I live in Kingswood. I actually remember it was my 15th birthday, and I went into the school chaplain, and I was just like, help. I didn't really know what I needed help for, but it came to the point that I knew. It turned out we had a school psychologist, and I was lucky in the sense that she was really, really, really nice. From there, I was referred to Lucina Clinic. I went to see a specialist, and I saw a psychiatrist there. I went in being prepared to be diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So when she said Asperger's, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it's hard to remember everyone I went to, but I know between the ages of 15 and 18, I saw a lot of people, a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, not just from Lucina Clinic. It was exhausting having to tell your story kind of over and over and over again. Being a teenager is hard, and I was being a teenager with all this on top. So it was kind of a very darkish kind of time. It's only when I turned 18 and I went to see a psychiatrist, that's when everything clicked and I got a diagnosis of BPD, which for me was the, oh, that makes sense kind of moment. Like, that explains everything. Like, there's literally just this diagnosis that explains me to a T. Because I had just turned 18, like I was still in secondary school. So in hospital, there was the adolescent ward and there was the adult ward. And because of my age, I had to go to the adult ward because I was an adult. But I felt like I belonged in the adolescent ward with people my age, but 17. I was terrified because I still felt like a teenager. Going from youth services to adult services, it wasn't just an easy transition like, oh, here's your new psychiatrist. It was into hospital. So it was a big transition at the time, obviously. Whenever I meet people, they're always talking about sixth year and they're talking about, you know, their 6-year holiday or things like that. And I kind of just don't have anything to contribute to the conversation. Even seeing my younger cousins turn 18 and going to their debs or their graduation and things like that, it still hurts as much today that I missed out. I think being put in that position where I had to be an adult and I had to go to appointments on my own forced me to grow up a bit and be able to speak for myself, which also helped me understand what was going on myself, because when you talk it out, you're kind of explaining it and putting pieces together. I learned a lot about myself. It really, really helped me mature and understand myself, and it felt really nice to be kind of part of a community where I realised that age didn't matter. These people were speaking to me as an equal. I wouldn't say I'm fine and dandy. I wouldn't say I'm cured. I'm still very much struggling with the conditions that I do have, but I am well able now to recognise when something has happened. I think I'm a lot more mature because I can identify, okay, I know this makes no sense. I know this is an irrational thought, whereas before I wouldn't be able to identify that. I'd have the thought and I'd stress out about it. Now I still stress out about it, but I'm able to go, this is irrational, and I'm able to be aware and say, I know that I'm feeling like this and I know that it's not really as bad as it is. I guess it goes back to when I first had to start going to appointments on my own, and I was forced to explain how I felt, which helped in figuring out what was going on with me. And to this day, I think I've kind of only learned from that, like, more and more. When you're able to identify these things, you're able to kind of manage them better.